All right, so now I have my friend and client, Soni, someone that has just been in my world. I feel like she brings a light to the things that she does and playfulness, and she does all things love, and she'll share more about what she does. But I'm just so grateful that you came on here to share yourself, to share your energy with the community and with myself. So welcome, Soni. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
So tell us about you. For someone that's listening and they've never come across your path yet, tell us about what you do in the world and just anything else you feel called to share.
Yeah, so my name is Soni, and I am a dating and relationship coach. I just I'm on a mission so that every woman is not just making fuck tons of money, but they are just fucking insanely loved because we all deserve to be loved. So I help women get the love that they desire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what got me into love and relationship coaching is just my life's journey. I was in a toxic relationship and just working on myself and doing deep inner work. My life transformed, and I'm now married to an amazing man. So when when the work that changed my life, and I was like, oh my God, I have to share this with everybody. And I was just called to do that. So I'm just following my heart's calling.
I love that. And I love how, in this case, and it's often like this, the most painful, crappy thing that happens, or like the thing that just throws us into the washing machine of everything's about to change.
Yes.
And you found your way back, and you're like, actually, not even back, you found your way to the upgrade. And then you're like, hold on, I want to share this with everyone. I feel like
Yeah.
that happens so many times.
Yeah. And then, like several years after I got into this coaching, I found that in human design, my incarnation cross is incarnation. It's it's like the cross of love. So I am meant to do, this is my life's purpose. I am here to show people how to love themselves and attract love. So I was like, oh my God.
I love that. And I also love that you pointed out the fact of, like, in the online world, there's so many people that are just like, I want to make more money. I want this. And it's like, even us unlocking more money, it's so deeply rooted in our love for self, our receptivity. And it's like, all of this stuff goes together, ladies. As I say, another reminder. Sonia's here to remind us all.
Yes, totally. And actually, what you have helped me is have a deeper connection with my husband and I'll tell you how, because I had a beautiful relationship, but when it came to money, I was so guarded. I was so fearful to share that side of me. So my husband did know that I had some debt, but wasn't very open about talking about money and finances, and I would just shut down. And that would frustrate him. I mean, he's an amazing man, so he would never get like angry or push me, but I could see his frustration. And I remember, like, in the beginning of this year when I was with you in Divine Overflow, we worked through my debt situation. We worked through the guilt and shame I had around where I am. And it was so beautiful that for the first time ever, I was able to openly talk to him about everything and just show up as my vulnerable self as far as money was concerned. And it was so amazing to see how our relationship has evolved because of that. Because in my family, this was not modeled. Like, we never had scarcity of money ever growing up, but I would always see my mom and dad arguing about money. And that's the same dynamic I had with my ex-husband. So I had never experienced this beautiful way of communicating around finances ever before.
Yes, that's so beautiful.
That this whole, like, the money journey that I have been on, and everything, like the perspective that you teach about how do you look at debt.
Yeah,
that's just so beautiful, right? Like, what are you making it mean? So that has
I
just,
remember that day. I remember the day that I couldn't tell you what the date was, but I remember the day that you came into Divine Overflow and you were just like, here's where I'm at. It was very vulnerable with even all of us.
yes.
Here's where I'm at. Everything else is wonderful. But then there's this one thing.
Mhm.
And when you were willing to look at it and then you shared with your husband and he was so supportive, and now watching your journey, you did Divine Overflow and then later on you made it into the miracle realm.
Yes.
It's like the journey now. Soni, you could tell us even more about it, but now Soni is just like holding space for her husband with money and like guiding him to more trust and faith, and he's getting raises and all these things have been happening. So it's like your magic was unlocked in that moment of owning it and changing the meaning you gave it.
Yeah, and it's so amazing, right? Like when I look myself as an observer and I see this person prior to January or even last year, because I know I started Money Miracles. I think it was March of 2021.
Yeah, we had a
But
March one. Yeah.
it's a journey, right? It's you are kind of I'm peeling layers of whatever it is, like conditioning, the guk, the everything, and it's been a process. But now, if I sit back and look at myself, it's like any kind of a like I shared with you yesterday on our Soul Authority call, right? Like any kind of a disturbance that comes up when it's connected to money or finances or whatever, my nervous system doesn't get over flooded.
Yes. That's so amazing. That's like,
And it's like,
priceless.
wow.
Yeah.
Me would have been like crying and, oh shit, what am I gonna do now? That whole different energy, right? So just working with you has been life transforming. It's like, oh my God.
Of my life, when I hear this, I'm like, this is why we keep showing up and doing these things. This is why we create this stuff, because we are puzzle pieces for each other in a way where we are just mirrors. We mirror just the one thing and one thread. Like you just share this one thread around money. And I've since seen how it's impacted your husband, your son. Like it's just
Yes.
it ripples forever.
Right. And then in those times, I'm like, okay, so this work is sticking. I am channeling my inner Nicole, and I'm like, oh my God, that's how we learn, right? When you get rid of your old programming and you start doing things in a new way, slowly those new networks get wired and it settles in and you remember. So I'm like, ooh, this is sinking in, this is settling in. I can actually, speak in a different way. I'm like, ooh, this is exciting.
Being a different human, which creates a whole different timeline for you. And
yes.
That's the exciting thing. And I also want to point out, because it's like, okay, you just shared something. You did Money Miracles back in 2021, March 2021.
Yes.
So it's like, this has been a while. You did that. It integrates a little bit. You do something else and then it integrates. And then there comes a point where even after investing a couple times, you could have said, well, I don't know, I have this debt, so I shouldn't invest in myself anymore. But you still leaned in, and it's like each thing unlocked you a bit. And I wish women, do you want to speak on that a little bit? Like what that mindset was like?
Yes. So, after the Money Miracles, I came to the live event. And something you said there has stuck with me. You said, take the leap and the net will show up.
Oh, yeah. The net will
appear. And that has stuck with me. After that, I have taken so many leaps. Like I got myself a business class ticket to fly to Dubai. I invested in Divine Overflow. I'm here in Miracle Realm now. It's just,
I think you did human design stuff. Like you've been.
Yeah, I've been investing in myself. I've just been following my heart's calling, and things have been shifting. So it's just been a beautiful journey. It's like you said, it stacks, everything adds up. And actually what really motivated me to join Miracle Realm was, I'm like, instead of investing in a bunch of different coaches, I want to go deeper with one coach, because that's what I did when I was working on my love life. Mm-hmm. And I just dived deeper. Like every program that coach created, I was on there. I'm like, this is my heart's desire. I want to get married again. I want to experience amazing love and a beautiful relationship. So I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm like, I desire the same with my money, with my finances, and I have so many dreams.
Yes.
So it's time for me to just invest in one coach and just go deeper.
I love
And
that.
I can see the difference in just a few weeks. So
And I love that you did that with love. And it's like, now it worked. And now you're doing it with this and it works. I think there's
yes.
something to be said about the consistency and the commitment with anything in life. It changes things.
Yes,
So
it is.
do you want to speak on that just for a moment for your experience of what it feels like now to be in the realm? Like, I don't know how long you've been in here. Not that long, maybe like 2 or
No,
3
it's just, I think 2, maybe 3 months. Yeah.
hard for me to tell just because you've been in other things before that. So when did you come in? And when,
Yeah, I think it's about 2 or 3 months, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 months in, what would you say, like that difference of knowing you're in a longer term container and you made that commitment versus like what it was like to be in just a group coming in and then the group ends in 6 weeks kind of thing?
It's just like the continuous support and then everything that you have been creating. It's like this a lifeline. You have this and you have that, and just everything. The timing has been so perfect, at least for me. Like the codes that have been coming through you, it's just been aligning with things that are happening in my life. So it's just that support. It's just the community. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. And also like this constant reminder that if I want to change, I cannot show up as my old self. So just being in that long-term container, it's just that constant reminders that we get and the support.
Yes.
And knowing that I'm not walking in this alone, you are there, the other women in the community are there, and I'm not alone experiencing this.
Yeah. I love it. I love, even for me, this was the first time creating something long term for a year that I feel like anyone can kind of jump in. A mastermind is different. There's a lot of different things that are involved. But with this, we have our community, and that's what I was sharing with some of the other women. It's like we get to know each other better, and I get to watch how each of you show up in each thing. So I see like, oh, this is how money medicine landed for you. This is how soul authority is landing for you. And then when I shared that we were doing the journey 100K, like some of the ladies were like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to pee myself. Like, how?
Yes.
And it's like, I don't even know what I'm creating. All I know is that I just am like pouring into this space of what do my ladies need? Like, how can we make this the most transformational year together? And it's been really fun for me. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
This has been the best decision I ever made. I'm like, oh my God, I think, the universe guided me to do the right thing. It's just been amazing. And it's more so, it's just not for me. I've been able to help my kids. Like I had shared about my son. And it's like, it's transforming generations. It's not just helping me. It's my kids, their kids, their kids. So it's just been amazing that I can show up for my family and my kids differently and show them a different way and just end that karmic cycle of lack.
Yes. Oh my God. I love to see that. And when you look at it, when you even say it that way, it's like the investment can seem a lot for some people, but then when you put it that way, you're like,
it's priceless. It's like, oh my God, this is a gift I'm giving to my future generations. And that's something so beautiful. Just a little story I would like to share. My daughter said this to me once when I was working on my personal journey. And she said, we had this family picture in our kitchen countertop. And she said that mom who is in the picture is very different than the mom sitting in front of me. And at that point, I realized that even if I never find a man, just giving this gift to my daughter, her seeing me showing up differently, that's everything. So it's the same with this journey. It's like, if I can just give them this gift, I think then this money is just like, it's money, right? Like you say, I mean,
it's coming and it's here.
It's coming, yes, but the gift that I can give them to show up differently for themselves and to know exactly like what money is. Like you talk about, the happy pocket full of money. It's an illusion. So
it's a symbol. And it's like, that's what you're talking about is legacy and character, and
Yes.
it changes everything.
Yes.
Money's so one-dimensional sometimes, and I love money, but it's like the best way to get money is when all the rest of the stuff is locked in and lined up.
Yes.
We're just in the openness of all goodness.
Yes.
Money is just part of that.
Right. And then I first time yesterday, or was the day before, I realized when my consulting thing is coming to an end, I didn't feel the wobble at that time. I didn't feel this fear or my heart sinking. I'm like, oh my God. So like whatever, yes, I don't know what's going to happen after a month, but I know my business has started to grow. I'm attracting more clients. Yet I would like that supplemental income so that I don't put too much pressure on myself and let it be easy like it has been. But it's like, okay, the next best thing is going to show up. My husband and actually, we opened up a beer and we are like, okay, cheers to the next adventure.
See, that's the kind of energy that opens us up to a new possibility that is an upgrade.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone listening is understanding, like you hear Soni saying, let's open up a beer. In the beginning, she's sharing this, she would have probably cried and had a freak out. And it's like, that takes a level of commitment and consistency with our inner work to
and I think
embodiment.
Being in the container like I am in right now in the miracle realm, I think that's helped me a lot because it's like that consistent, I'm building up on the work that I have done previously. So it's every day I'm listening to something, you know, something different. So it's like, sorry?
You're calibrating, like you're slowly calibrating to how I see money, how I see life, what other people are showing up. It's like, I feel like when we invest in these things, we're investing in the standard.
Yes.
I'm going to hold myself to the standard. And it's like having a beer because something didn't work out. It's like, that's the ultimate. And cheers.
We actually did like cheers to the next new adventure. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, universe, what do you have in store for me? Like,
yes,
I'm excited.
I love this. That's really the vibe. Like, this is a vibe where it's like, that's a frequency to wealth.
Yes.
And wealth has lots of frequencies. It's not just money, it's other things as well. So Soni, I'm so excited. I'm delighted, excited, celebrating you. I'm just happy to see this whole journey and just to know that there's just so much that's coming through you, and it's just going to impact everybody in your world, not only your family, but all the women that are coming your way to find their love and open their hearts in these ways.
Yeah, no, truly, like, I'm really grateful. Like, thank you for creating this space and just modeling to us, like, what's out there and how good things can be. So
yes, it's my delight. I feel like we are co-creating this together.
Yes.
And that's the fun thing. And we're just getting started. So that's why I'm creating this, because I feel like there's so many women in my community that might look at that and think it's such a big investment, but we have big dreams. Mm-hmm. We have big energy to embody, and stepping into these spaces is part of that path.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us, Soni.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to share this with my community and for them to experience you as well. So
thank you.